Hey everyone, today we are making this cute little home decor for the holidays, and so these are the supplies you'll need. You'll need a scan and cut machine and all the accessories to go with it. You'll need a sewing machine and accessories to go with that too, the thread and all that type of stuff. You'll need a 12 by 12 inch piece of fabric. I used a woven fabric. And you'll need some polyfiber fill to be able to stuff it with, and then whatever embellishments you want to use with it. I use some trim and some faux greenery, but of course you can fill it with whatever you want. And also there is a free cut file that you can download, and just follow that link and it'll take you right there. Okay, so let's get started with this project. Okay, so for this project, I'm using a standard mat, and it does have a fabric support sheet on top, which is what this is. So as you can tell, that fabric support sheet is very sticky. Okay, so I'm going to take my fabric and stick it on here. As you can tell, it's stiff. I used a little bit of starch, a light starch, when I ironed it. It'll help it because, as you can tell, you know, this type of woven fabric likes to get a little shredded like that on any of the tear lines. So you just want to, you know, get your fabric on there smooth. Don't try to pull it or tug it because that will distort it. And get any little lumps, just smooth them out. Okay, now we're just going to load our mat. I'm going to cut this little string. Don't want it to get stuck wrapped around that wheel right there. Okay, so I'm putting my mat in so it bumps up against those two little bumpers and hitting this mat button. I'm gonna wake up my machine first. There we go. Okay, so we loaded our mat into the machine, and now we're ready to retrieve that design that we sent over. So we're gonna hit retrieve data, and I sent it from my computer, but if you sent it from another source, you'll choose that. And there are my mittens. So I'm going to hit OK. So I'm gonna hit OK, and then select cut. Make sure everything's secure. Now you can do a test cut if you've never cut a fabric before, or this type of fabric. I would recommend doing that. But we just want to check all of our settings real quick. So I obviously was cutting something vinyl or something that I needed the half cut on for. So I am going to go in here and just adjust everything back to auto and turn that off. So my manual pressure 0. And come down, half cut pressure, auto. I'm gonna turn the half cut off. Make sure everything else is back how it should be. Okay. Okay, so I have my pressure on auto, my speed's at 7, my half cut is off. Okay, so I am ready to cut. So then I'll just hit start. Now, if you do run into problems cutting, you're going to want to hit that pause button right there, and that will pause the cutting, let you deal with whatever situation you need to, and then resume. Okay, let's see, where did my spatula go? Just want to make sure that this cut, and it looks like it did. So I'm just going to remove this right here. So you just want to pull it really gently. You don't want to cause it to fray. Okay, so there are our mittens. And I am just going to carefully take these off. You don't want to, you know, just rip them off because you'll fray those ends even more. And you know, it's okay if they get a little frayed because we are going to be sewing them. So you'll be hiding that part. And the great thing also about this project is there is not a wrong side, right? They look cute on both sides. So you don't really have to worry about, oh, this is the right hand, this is the left hand. It's exactly the same pattern for both hands, so, and both sides of the fabric. So you don't have to stress on that part. Okay, so I even turned them all the same way. Okay, so we cut those out. Now, obviously you'll take two and match them up, and then just go sew around the outside. I am leaving a small seam allowance, just probably 1/4 of an inch. And then you have your 2 mittens that we can embellish later. Okay, so now that we have our little mittens sewn around the edges and turned right side out, we have to finish them off. And so, you know, this little rough edge right here, the reason I didn't have you turn it ahead of time is just because we're going to cover that right up. Since this is a decoration piece, I'm just going to use hot glue, glue that on there. We're going to stuff it with some polyfill, and then, you know, add some little decor on the inside of it, popping out, and then we'll be done. For more ideas and inspiration, visit erinbassett.com. And for all things Scan and Cut, visit scandcut.com.